everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Stranger Things and Dungeons and Dragons: The Rise of Hellfire. Number one, this is a new book from Dark Horse Comics. As you can probably tell by the title, this is a tie-in to the Stranger Things, and Dungeons and Dragons, both properties over at Netflix I don't remember who publishes Dungeons and Dragons at the moment respectively. Anyways, this is a really cool crossover. This is a script by Jody Houser and Eric Campbell, which I love Jody Houser's adaptations of a lot of these media. I think she's so good at really understanding and expanding the universe into the comic book world. She's done it a lot for Doctor Who, Star Wars, like you name the franchise. Jody Houser has probably adapted a comic. We also have art by Diego Galindo, Diana Sosa on colors, letters by Nate Picos, and a bunch of covers because, of course, we're going to take advantage of using a property or properties like Stranger Things and Dungeons and Dragons. In this book, spell slinging, sword swinging, and the luck of the dice have even shaped the lives of the Stranger Things boys well before they had real monsters to face. This exciting new D&D focused prequel to the events of Stranger Things Season 4 features Eddie Munson's rise as the de facto leader of the Hellfire Club, his recruitment of Lucas, Dustin, and Mike, and glimpses into the fantasy worlds they conquered together. This is an origin story for Eddie Munson. Now, I'll be very upfront. I haven't watched. I'm not caught up to date with Stranger Things, but if you were on the internet when Stranger Things season 4 was out, like you knew who Eddie Munson was. Like there was no escaping that. So I was aware of that, and it's really fun that you can read this comic even without having seen that season because this is all about the rise of him to power. Now, obviously, if you've seen the series, you get a lot of more additional context. But this book takes place in 1985, which is when the series was going on, and then we get flashbacks back to a few years earlier when Eddie was a freshman earlier in his career in high school. So it's really fun to first of all to meet other kids that he had been hanging out with, to meet other people that he may have. How did he strike up this interest for Dungeons and Dragon and for everything that's going on? And then the book, as they get into an actual campaign, intercuts those scenes from the campaign, so you're getting both the Stranger Things and a Dungeons and Dragon thing. So like, there's so much here. Like I said, I don't think you need to be well versed in either. Like if you know the overall premise of Stranger Things, you'll kind of get into this. If you have ever heard of Dungeons and Dragons, you'll probably understand this very well. I think Jody Houser and Eric Campbell actually do a pretty good job of making this feel very welcoming to a new audience. And then, of course, the art is fantastic. It's not photorealistic, but there's enough there that you understand and know which of the characters are if you're familiar with them from the show. And then even the introduction of the new characters is so much fun. But it really, really goes to the next level when you go into the D&D world of the campaign that they're doing. So this book really has like all these quadrants that it's covering, right? It's got Stranger Things fans, Dungeons and Dragons fans, fans of these creative teams, fans of Eddie Munson. Like there's so much here. And then people that are just interested in knowing how did he become the leader of the Hellfire Club. Like that's really, really cool. I remember the season when that season came out, going to conventions, everyone had those Hellfire Club T-shirts on, and I was just like, "What is going on?" So now I'll get a little bit of a glimpse of that, and I'm very excited to follow this. Now, after reading the next issue, whenever I read that, I'll make my mind whether I want to read this monthly or wait for the collection. Sometimes a lot of these books read better to me in a collection, just because I'm reading so much that sometimes I kind of forget what's going on month over month. But I'm very excited. Like I said, I really enjoy the creative team, specifically Jody Houser. Just I will buy almost any book adaptation that she's doing because she's great. I mean, also just any comic in general. But Jody Houser's forte right now in the past few years has been doing book adaptations of different franchises. So if you love a franchise, Jody Houser has probably written it. So if you read this book, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. If you're a fan of Stranger Things and or Dungeons and Dragons, which they go hand in hand, let me know about it down in the comments. What other books do you recommend? Have you read the other Stranger Things adaptations? Are you reading the Dungeons and Dragons comics that are out there? As always, Thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.